Hi there, hope that you're doing well. So continuing the history of England, from the 8th century, the church recognised the north-south divide by having two archbishops, one of Canterbury and the other of York. The Viking raids began in the year 840 at Southampton and 842 in London. King Alfred himself was forced to go on the run, later signing a peace treaty with Danish leader Guthrum following victory at the Battle of Edington in the year 878. The first great national epic tale, Beowulf, is written at this time, signifying Alfred's united England based on a Scandinavian Anglo-Saxon heritage. King Athelstan in 937 defeated the Scottish king, coins proclaiming him King of Britain. As soon as Athelstan died, however, the Vikings retook York, Northumberland and 5 boroughs, the kingdom being divided between the brother kings Edwig in the south and Edgar in the north. Danelaw meant the Vikings could be ruled according to their own language, laws and customs. This was to lead unto England becoming a Danish colony by the year 975. Edgar's son was shortly killed visiting his stepmother and was replaced by Athelred the Unready. Apparently unready meant badly advised. Maybe someone had a word with Athelred saying he wasn't so great at being a king business, being a king business, to which he replied, "It's not my fault, I'm just badly advised." The Vikings sensed opportunity, so more came, incentivised by Danegeld being paid to make them go away, which had the reverse effect. In the year 1002, Athelred decided he wasn't playing around anymore and ordered all Danish men to be slaughtered. Unfortunately, this also included King Sven's daughter, so King Sven of Denmark himself, leading an invasion in the year 1003, Athelred going into exile in Normandy. Sven dying in 1014, the Danes choosing his son Canute, have to be careful how I pronounce that one, as successor. The English inviting back Athelred under the condition he behaved himself, meaning don't murder rival nobles. This he could not refrain from doing, so Canute invaded and Athelred soon died. England was now divided between Athelred's son Edmund Ironside and Canute, Edmund dying that same year, and Canute inheriting England at the centre of his Scandinavian empire. Canute marrying Athelred's widow, Emma of Normandy, and ruthlessly purging the English aristocracy, throwing their headless corpses over the walls of London, replacing them with Danes and Norwegians. Canute, however, promised to abide by Edgar's laws, but unlike Edgar himself, apply them to everyone in the realm, so no special treatment then. Canute's son, meant to take over after Canute's death, died in a drinking bout in 1042. Well, some things never change. Edward the Confessor then taking the crown. Now, Edward's lack of an heir meant that a lot of promises were made as to who would assume the crown after Edward. One of these being the Duke of Normandy, later to be known as William the Conqueror. When Edward eventually died, Harold, despite having no blood claim to the throne, was crowned by the Danes, being the great warlord of the south. As Harold awaited William's inevitable invasion, Harold Hardrada and the Norwegians joined Tostig in the north, marching south, taking York from the northern earls Morcar and Edwin. Harold raced north and ambushed them, killing both Tostig and Hardrada at Stamford Bridge. William arrived 3 days later, ravaging the south. Harold having no choice but to march his exhausted troops down south, Harold himself receiving an arrow to the eye before being hacked to pieces at the Battle of Hastings in 1066. Well, if you've got this far, thank you for watching, and if you have any comments or suggestions, I'd be more than happy to hear them. Have a great day.